Am I not muted? All right, cool. Here we go. Jess, can you mute yourself? I got you. I got you. I got you. We're good. All right, cool. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the call tonight. Kate, Jess, and myself are so excited to have you here with us tonight and to share our stories with you. One, we just love having a little bit of a girls' night and hearing each other's stories and seeing your beautiful faces. But we also recognize that maybe now more than ever, life is just kind of hard. It just feels heavy some days, and there's so many things going on in the world that can, I don't know, just cause some sadness, cause some mental struggle, and kind of get us down. And this is an opportunity for you to just kind of curl up with a blanket, grab something to drink if you would like, and just listen to how we have created some shifts in our life to create a more positive environment for ourselves, and create more happiness in our life, and kind of put up some boundaries and some blocks around the negative loop that we used to have in our heads or the struggle that's going on around us. Okay. So we are super grateful that you are here. We appreciate you taking the time to be here live or to listen to the playback. I have the pleasure of kicking this party off. So if you don't know me, I am Corey Mayo, and I am the mama bear of Team Living Healthy and Fit, which is the amazing tribe you are hearing from tonight. And I'm so freaking proud of these girls and all of the girls who are on our team, because you guys are powerhouses and amazing women who have created significant change in their own lives and the lives around them. So I am very proud to say that I am their mama bear. I have been a coach for 10 years. I am a wife and a mom to two little boys. I have an almost 12-year-old, which is crazy. And my baby just turned 9. So my boys are a little bit older, but I did start coaching when they were younger. You know, they were 2.5. Well, Beckett wasn't even born yet. I got pregnant with him shortly after I started coaching. So I have gone through all those seasons of having a newborn and a toddler and trying to juggle all the things. So I can relate to that if maybe that's where you are. I I really never knew what coaching was or didn't know anything about coaching or that coaching even existed before I started my wellness journey. And the extent of me knowing what coaching was then was I had a coach who was going to help guide me to create the change that I was looking to create for myself. I really needed to lose weight, and I needed to carve out some time for me. But I didn't aspire to be a nutrition and fitness coach or a wellness coach or even an empowering person, because I led a pretty negative life. I was very judgmental. I was very critical of myself, and I lived in a very negative loop for a very long time until I started working on myself a bit. So I don't want you to think that you have to have it all figured out or you have to be an expert to be a successful coach and to empower others around you and to make significant change in your life, because I didn't even know that coaching existed. And I certainly didn't go to school for this or have any certification or anything like that. This has literally been a path and a journey of creating myself and working on me and simply sharing that with those around me. So I've always been a high achiever, if you will. I am somebody who works really hard. I have set big goals for myself or high expectations. My parents always had really high expectations for myself. And that kind of led on this path of like always trying to achieve, right? Always trying to do better and please my parents when I was younger and I was in school, and please those around me. And I was only a good daughter if they were happy. And then I always felt like I was only a good friend if I was doing everything for everybody else. If I was making sure that I was the one reaching out to my friends, that I was there when they needed something. And then as I got older, I identified as being a good girlfriend, fiance, and wife if my significant other was happy, if the laundry was done, if the house was clean, if the meals were cooked, if I was doing all of the things. I was a good mom if my kids were taken care of, if my kids were happy. So somewhere along the way, as women, we're such caregivers, right? And we do so much for everyone else. We're always trying to please those around us and meet their expectations or what their expectations are of us. And maybe you can relate to that as well, because I know that that's a struggle for many women, whether you're a mom or not, or a wife or not. I think that that is something that so many women struggle with. And meeting those expectations can be crippling, and it can cause us to lose ourselves. So after my oldest was born, when he was about 18 months old, that's where I found myself. I didn't really have something that was specifically for me. And I had lost who I was as a person. I wasn't happy. I didn't feel like I was meeting my true potential or living the life that I was put here to live. Like, I was just literally going to work, coming home, sitting on the couch, going to bed, and doing it all over again. Like, I didn't feel like I was serving any sort of purpose. So when my coach approached me about helping me feel better because I was not happy and didn't feel good in my own skin, I took the leap of faith. I really didn't think that I was going to stick with it because I had never stuck with anything ever in my life. And so I did. I dove into a fitness program and following some sort of a nutrition program. And at the time, this is how bad it was, you guys. At the time, I didn't even do it for me. I did it because I wanted to be a better mom I only had the one son at the time. I wanted to be a better mom for him. I wanted to be a better example for him and a better role model. And I wanted to be here for him because at the end of the day, I was scared that if I kept on the path I was on, I wasn't going to be here to watch him grow up. And that terrified me. So when I started this wellness journey, it took some time to get me back, right? It didn't happen overnight. There was a lot of hard work. I had to unpack a lot of different things. I had to work through a lot of limiting beliefs and that negative loop in my head because, like I said in the beginning, I was super judgmental. I would look in the mirror and pick every flaw I could possibly see and tear myself down because I just never felt good enough and like I wasn't worthy. But through the community of being in a wellness group, pushing play on my workout, even though it wasn't perfect, I couldn't hardly do the moves when I first started. A lot of times I would just jog in place because I literally physically could not do the workouts when I started. Something started to shift. And I started to be surrounded by more positivity. I was encouraged to do personal development and personal growth, which if you're not doing that, you guys, if nothing else, do that just to lead a happier life and to be able to embrace joy and love yourself and love life and see all the good things around you, because we have more than enough negativity surrounding us every day, right? So I was able to start unpacking those things. I was able to start changing that loop that was in my head, cutting all of those flaws down. Did I still look at myself and find imperfections? Absolutely. And I still catch myself doing it to this day because it is just ingrained in our freaking brains. And as humans, we tend to go to the negative and we also go to the comparison game, right? So I am far from perfect and I still have to work very hard at not cutting myself down, giving myself grace, and working through my own things. But because of coaching, I kept working at it. I kept showing up. I kept unpacking those things and those limiting beliefs that were holding me back for so long, you guys. We were barely making ends meet and barely getting by. And not just the income side of it, but we just weren't. I mean, we were happy as a couple and as a family, but as individuals, we weren't happy with ourselves. So it was really hard to see much beyond that. right? It was hard to look past that wall that kept being put in front of us. So through the workouts and showing up and keeping my promise to myself, I started to create confidence through the personal development. I started to change that loop that I was saying in my head. I changed the words. I changed how I was talking to myself. I changed how I was looking at life. And I may be labeled the over optimistic or overly positive one at times, because I genuinely have totally switched my perspective to trying to see the good in every single situation that comes to us. And that doesn't mean that we don't face hardships, because we certainly have. I've shared in my story before, between my aunt having a brain aneurysm in 2017, and then my 16-year-old goddaughter had to move in and live with us for a period of time. And then my mom was diagnosed with cancer in 2018. My dad was diagnosed with cancer in 2019. And then we all know that COVID hit in 2020 and shut down the world. I'm not telling you we don't face hardships, but it's because of the work I have done through coaching and through finding this positive community and the personal development that I was able to make it through all of that with a little bit of sanity and grace, right? That I didn't completely lose it and go off of the deep end. So I never knew that I needed this in my life, because I didn't know it existed. But you guys, this is one of the best yeses I have ever given myself, and to give myself, to be able to live a life of purpose, to serve a mission, to pay it forward, because I know because there's women on this team who I love and adore and who are my closest friends now. But I know that there are moms out there and women out there who felt lost, who felt forgotten, who felt unseen, unheard, just like I did 10 years ago. And the fact that I had found something that has helped me completely transform my life, I absolutely had to share that with others. I absolutely had to pay that forward and let other women know that they are seen, that they are heard, they are worthy, they are enough. And it is not selfish or bad to take time to fill yourself up, because you don't want your family or your loved ones or your friends or those around you to get what's left of you, right? You want them to get what's the best of you, that you want them to get your energy and your love and your life. We have to fill ourselves up first. So this business has been an incredible blessing for our family in many ways, and allowed us the freedom to live life, literally the life that we didn't even dream of 10 years ago, because it was so far-fetched. I couldn't fathom losing weight and staying committed to my own goals long-term, let alone sticking to something that could create the life that we're living today. So at the end of the day, if the money went away, I would still do this. I would still wake up at 4:30 every morning and sit at my computer and message other women and tell them to have a good day, to send them love and light, to let them know that they are seen, that they are heard, and that they are enough. Because I now know that I've been in this for so long, that this was put in my heart for a reason, that this mission that our team serves to inspire and empower women all around us is there for a reason. And we might be crazy, but they say that the crazy ones are the ones that change the world. The crazy ones are the ones that make the difference. They're the ones that are bold enough to go after something bigger than mediocre, bigger than average, and make a difference. So I am going to pass it off to Jess, who is my sweet, sweet friend. We went to high school, even though we didn't really know each other in high school. She's a little bit younger than me. We're not going to say how much younger. um, but she is my beautiful friend from the high school days, and we've reconnected because of social media. And she is going to share her story, and I'm just giving her a big shout out because this beautiful woman has grown so much in the last year that she's almost unrecognizable because the growth and the personal development that she has gone through. So I'm going to let her share her story.
Hello, my name is Jessica Donnelly, and I have been kind of coaching for 2 to 3 years, and I'll explain what the kind of coaching is here in a little bit. But my story is kind of like Corey's. Growing up, I was always the bigger girl. I was always the last one picked for basketball because I was the slowest. I was always, one that was, I always saw when people looked at me, they saw my weight, that I was the big girl, but they never saw truly who I was. And I feel like I morphed into that person. And I morphed into always being the bigger girl to the point where as I got older, it was me making myself comfortable with the clothes and my skin. I would make jokes about it. So like one of my famous jokes was I wear sports bras to hold in my back boobs just to make myself, whatever. So, and then as I got older and had kids, I started gaining weight, wasn't stopping gaining any weight. And so I threw my whole life and my whole soul into my family and became the person working, wherever I was working. I just 100% that. Never took any time for myself, became very comfortable at being at home, just being with my family and my husband and my circle. And then now, as I started my weight loss journey, sometimes I still feel like some of those people still see me as, that bigger girl who lost a lot of weight. But I don't want to be seen as that person. I want to be seen as me. I want to be seen as the person I'm supposed to be and who I was meant to be. And honestly, COVID saved me. I know people look at it as a bad thing, but COVID saved me because I met these girls that you see on the screen, plus a few other, and they brought me out of my shell and have lifted me up and have helped me become more social, have become more active. I enjoy working out. I enjoy going places. I enjoy doing stuff with my kids. And it doesn't feel like a job anymore. It doesn't feel like I'm just there because I'm supposed to be there and that's what I'm supposed to do. It feels like I'm there because I'm present and I'm supposed to be there and I'm supposed to have fun and outgoing. I do things with my kids that I probably never would have caught me doing a few years ago because I was so uncomfortable with myself and I just wasn't going to do it. So when Corey asked me to coach, I remember this day we were doing 80-day obsession. I think we were close to finishing and she goes, Jessica, I really think you should coach. And my response to Corey was, how can I coach people when I'm broken? How can I lift people up when I can't lift myself up? Like, how can I do that? And her response was, it's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel better to lift other women up that you're going to gain more confident. You're going to gain more self-respect and, and so forth. And she was right. I jumped in 100% right away. I got my friends involved. I got family involved. Everybody I could think of, I was talking to them 100%. And then someone really close to me decided they were going to say something and it knocked me on my ass hard. And it hurt. Everything I had, it hurt. And I hid. I ran away and I hid from everything and I stopped. But I'll tell you, during that, me going all in 100%, I earned the Success Club trip. And I took my husband with me and we were still deciding if we were going to go. And he looked at me and he said, Jessica, are you going to have fun to go somewhere that you don't know anybody? And I said, you know what? I really don't know because I've never been really put in this situation before. So I don't know. And he said, well, do you want to go? And I'm like, sure. let's go. So we went, and I have never been surrounded by such amazing people and an atmosphere it's undescribable to be in that atmosphere. I went and I hung out with coaches from South Carolina who now we message every other day, every day, just depending on what it is. I randomly talked to coaches in the hallway, which you probably never would have. I would have never done that. I would have just walked by like, "Hi, how are you?" But here I am having full-blown conversations with people I don't even know, that don't even know me. But you know what? They see me for me. They don't see me for the bigger girl that I used to be. They don't see me for, the mom that I would hide behind my kids because I didn't want anybody to notice me. They actually saw me and the outgoing personality that I was, that I've had in me. And it just, it makes you feel good. And I'm finally coming back out of my comfort zone. I'm becoming more social. I'm not hiding behind the people. Like I always told my husband, you're my comfort place. And that's who I hid behind. I hid behind my kids. And now we do things together. We play sand volleyball together. We work out together. He's not pushing me to do it. We're doing it together. And if it wasn't for this group of people lifting me up every day and telling me that I can do it, but yet telling me when I'm slacking a little bit, I don't think I'd be the person I am right now or the person I'm becoming. So with that, there's one thing I do want to leave with you. Well, what I took away from coaching, I should be honest with you, is that you need the community. When I stopped coaching and I went back into my shell, I became in this sad funk little place. And I mean, I was looking at pictures from a year ago and I'm like, why can't I have that smile back? And the reason why I didn't have that smile is because I wasn't engaging and I wasn't in my group and I wasn't leaning in, Kate, leaning in to my people. But now my smile is back because I'm leaning into my people. These are my people. This is my corner. These are my cheerleaders. And you got to lean in. And I'm telling you, you won't regret anything. So with that, I do, I don't know if you guys see Autumn stories, but she takes vitamins that come to you in a pack. And then in the pack, it gives you like a quote. Well, today's quote was very fitting when I took my vitamins. It's, if you prioritize yourself, you are going to save yourself. So I prioritize myself with coaching. This is what I want to do. I prioritize myself every morning with my workout. This is what I want to do. And it saved me. And now for that, I am a better friend, mother, wife, daughter, whatever you want to chalk it up to be. But that's what I got. So Kate, you're up.
You guys always make me go last and you're always tough acts to follow. Okay. So if we have not met yet, my name is Kate Kamer. I have been actively coaching since July of 2020. I am not going to go into a ton of detail on like my before story, but I think that it is safe to say that the reason I started coaching seriously, because I had dabbled in it before then, just not super consistent. The reason I got really consistent with it was because my back was against a wall. I was in a marriage that at that point in time was getting to be quite toxic. My health was nowhere where it needed to be. I was not the mother for my daughter that I needed to be. For the first time in my life, I was seriously contemplating divorce, which I was a stay-at-home mom, so that was fucking terrifying. I was just a mess. Like I was a mess, and I desperately needed something to give in so many areas of my life, and insert coaching. So, and now I'll be like completely and utterly transparent with you. When I first started with all this, I mean, I had limiting beliefs galore when it came to coaching. Like I did not walk into this feeling confident at all. Everything from finding the time to do it around, I was a stay-at-home mom, but with our situation, I was basically in charge of everything. So finding time to do it, getting over my fear of reaching out to people, trying to get consistent with my own journey because I had yet to do that ever in my life, ever with exercise or food. And here I'm going to be a coach. I was worried about being salesy with other people. Like, I mean, you name it. And I was like, this is crazy. Not to mention at the time, like my mindset, mental health, all of that, it was so touch and go. The environment that I was in, like sometimes was perfectly functional and fine. And then other times it was so toxic to the point that it was suffocating and like I could not even move. So I don't know, there was a lot of what ifs and a lot of doubt when it came to me and coaching. And I think the biggest reason I stepped into it despite all of that was, yes, my back was against the wall, but my why was so much bigger than my doubts. And my why is very much deeply tied into my daughter. So just to kind of give you like a little bit of a snapshot of what life was like. Um, when I became a coach, I weighed close to 230 pounds. I am 5'2". So that weight was crippling. Like I literally struggled with the smallest of things. Just bending over to get something was challenging. I found myself just hating my body. Like I would walk by the mirror. I was always very conscious about not saying anything out loud. I didn't want, because my daughter at the time was 2 and, and they hear, see everything. But like I would catch myself in the mirror and I would like make a face or like, there were all of these like underlying things. Like you could tell that I just didn't like how I looked. I like remember her like watching on as I was like frantically trying on clothes because we were going to get out to go do something. And I was in like my 10th outfit and I was like sweaty and panicked and just like, I don't have anything I can wear out that I'm going to feel comfortable wearing. Like she was watching all of that. Mentally I struggled. I was definitely, Corey had talked about it a little bit. I was definitely a more negative person. I was really quick to anger. I really struggled with being overly emotional. Like anytime that I got a chance to like let my guard down, like I could not stop crying. Like I was not functional. I fought like tooth and nail to be functional for the times I needed to be in. And then when I didn't have to be, like when I would put her down to bed at night, I mean, I was just a loose cannon. I was so exhausted and weary with the situation. Like I would find myself, in times where I'm supposed to be like really present for her. Like I would just check out. Like not that I didn't love her and didn't love being home with her, but I was just so fucking tired. Like not physically, just mentally, just stretched. I mean, I was see-through. So, and like with our circumstances too, being a stay-at-home mom, situations that had happened that had me like feeling really uncomfortable with like my marriage and some other things going on. My family, at the time lived so far away. All of my friends, like my support system essentially lived so far away. So I did feel very alone in a lot of it. And like thinking about the future was terrifying because it's like, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? Like, what the hell is this life? What am I supposed to be doing? So, it was dark times. It was dark times. I'm always like big on saying like they're character building times when we go through like tough times. I mean, a lot of that was character building, but a lot of it was kind of character debilitating too when I think back on it. So I am supposed to talk to you all about like an aspect of my life that has changed for the better because of coaching, which is just a joke because everything is different. Everything is different. But I guess the thing that I will like center in on a bit more tonight is because my why was so important in stepping into this. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I'm the most proud of. Like if I sat down and really thought about it, because this all ties back into her. And yeah, so here we go. Since July of 2020, I have lost over 100 pounds. I have regained my health. I have taken my life back in so many aspects. When it comes to that, yes, the physical changes are drastic. I'm at the point now where I meet new people and like they see a picture of me from way back when and they're like, there's no way that that's you. Like they legitimately don't. They tell me that I'm lying. I'm like, I promise I'm not. But mentally, I am an entirely different person. Like Corey is my coach. I met her when I was in college, just very briefly, like we were acquaintances. Like that person I was then is like, I don't remember her almost. When it comes to like my appearance, like I no longer agonize over it. And, you know, like if we want to run out the door to go play at the park, like I just, like my kid gets to see me just throw clothes on. And then when we go to the park, I'm present and I'm intentional with her. And I'm not sitting there like pulling my clothes down or worrying about somebody watching me, which in reality, nobody's actually watching you. It's just the anxiety in your head telling you people are watching you. Nobody gives a shit. If you struggle with that, just food for thought. But I am a more even-tempered person. And a lot of that is because I have just learned to love and embrace myself for me. And mind you, I do want to throw in a caveat with this because I did just tell you that I lost 100 pounds and then I listed all these things about me feeling so good in my skin. If you followed along with me at all of those changes I had mentally happened before I lost the weight. So for me personally, with my story, my weight loss is very much a byproduct of me just figuring out who the hell I was. So I do want to put that in there. I don't, because I've had plenty of experiences in the past where I've lost weight and nothing was different. So the mental stuff is definitely the biggest game changer there. I loved being a stay-at-home mom and I loved my daughter, but there had always felt like there was kind of something missing. And I couldn't really like pinpoint it, like I just felt like, I don't know. There was something that was not there. And, like come to find out it was this whole coaching opportunity. I don't know, like the fact that like I can be a mom and I can be home with her and I have this, this thing that's all mine that is something that brings so much light into our lives and so much help into our lives, and I can like pay it forward and help other people in the same kind of ways. And as far as like my daughter is concerned, like I get to show her the importance of chasing after your dreams because of this coaching opportunity. She gets to see what hustle really looks like. She gets to see what working hard for what you want really looks like. Because at the end of the day, life is not easy. And the things that are worth having require work, like guaranteed. She's going to grow up knowing that she'll have options when it comes to how she wants to live her life. Like the whole, like me being able to be home with her and being a present mom in that aspect, but then still getting to build this business and create this life that we want. Like she's going to know that there are no limitations when it comes to something like that. For her, if she's willing to put the work in, she's going to know the importance of helping others. She's going, like, my hope is for her, I don't know, my hope for everybody is, but I just, to be able to, we all have such, we can have such a small impact on the world and such a big impact on other people. And so like my hope for her, knowing that she gets to watch myself and our community, work and do all the things that we do, like knowing like the importance of just shedding even like the tiniest little bit of light out into the world, like the weight that has on somebody. I sent a random short little message to someone earlier, just telling them that I was hoping that they would have a good day. And they sent me back a fucking novel because they're in the thick of it. And that message meant so much to them because of what they're going through. Like it's so important for me, for her to know the importance of just being kind to other people. Which is something I really don't think I would have strived that hard for before becoming a coach. I don't know what that says about me, but it's true. It's true. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. She's going to know that her body is forever beautiful and is worth taking care of. not to like be a size 2 or whatever the hell, but just like to have longevity and quality of life. And like I feel like this life is all about connecting with other people. Don't we want to be here to spend time with them? um, she is growing up surrounded by a group of people who love her dearly within this community. People who love her as though she was a part of their family. In some cases, they love her more fiercely than some of her own blood family does. And a lot of these people are people I only met because of social media and because of coaching. Like there are people on this planet that love my daughter and they have not met her in person, but they send her birthday presents. And my marriage, man, it's so funny. This whole coach opportunity, like, has changed so much of my life. Like there's so much light that has come into my life. And when it came to my marriage, it seemed like that just continued to get darker along the way. And a year after I started coaching, which is so funny because I still am wearing the damn thing. It's still on my wrist. We went to this summit. We usually do like a big summit and there's like all the Beachbody coaches get together. But last year with COVID, we couldn't do it. So we just got our team together and we all got these like cute little like whatever tie on things. Anyway, I decided that weekend that I was going to ask for the divorce. And so that put me into a position where I had to also show my daughter what real hurt felt like and what starting over felt like and helping her to navigate these entirely new life experiences and trying to help a 4-year-old understand that like we're always going to be her parents, but we're not going to live together anymore. And I don't think I would have ever been strong enough to do that if it wasn't for this coaching opportunity to help me become the person I am and for the support that it gives me within this community. I I mean, I turned our lives upside down and I put us into like the fray, literally. And I think at the end of the day, the most important thing that it's done is it has allowed me to set a bar for my daughter to just be true to herself, to live a life that's true to herself, to be able to find and maintain her sense of self, to protect her peace fiercely, and to only surround herself with people who also have an invested interest in protecting her peace. I was in a relationship where the last few years I was looking at it and I was thinking to myself, like, if she was in a relationship like this, I wouldn't want that for her. So like, what the hell am I doing? I was stripping myself bare to fit into this box that was too small for me in the first place. And I was losing myself to please others and a plan and the situations and everything that looked good on paper. And like, she's not going to grow up watching her mom do any of that. Like none of it. I was terrified for so long that that's what it was going to be like. And it's not going to be like that. Instead, she's going to know her mom as somebody who is confident in who she is and is passionate as hell, probably to the point that it's obnoxious, and is always willing to help others and work with people and just continuing to be open-minded to this life and grow through this life and connect with other people in this life. And like none of that would have been possible for me if it wasn't for all of this. Like I am forever grateful because yeah, terrifying to think what life would be like if I wouldn't have said, shit's a mess, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, let me try anyway. So that is all that I have. I'm gonna let Corey close this out because I like putting you on the spot with this. You're welcome.
Yay for me not crying, and you got it this time. Yay. Oh my gosh. I hope you guys felt all of that because it is all so real. And I think that sometimes because what we're talking about is maybe feels so far away or too good to be true, or I don't know, like there can be so many feelings around that. And we fully understand that sometimes it can take a little bit of time to wrap your head around it. And it does seem scary because of the unknown. but speaking from personal experience, it's a good leap of faith to take. It really is. And you get all of us. Like, that was all very authentic and real, and just being open. So I say it at the end of every call. If you ever have questions, we are all open books. We'll literally tell you how we felt about something, how we've worked through something. Like, we are not here to persuade you to do this with us. If you want to do this with us, or if you feel called to do this, or have that desire in your heart to serve a mission and link arms with us, we absolutely want to do that with you. But we're not here to convince you that this is the path for you. If it speaks to your heart, then awesome. If it doesn't, we understand that this may not be the right fit for everyone, right? So we greatly appreciate you and your time and being on this call or listening to the playback. Reach out to the coach who invited you to listen to this and ask them if you have any questions, or if you have questions that you'd like to speak to any of us. We are very open to having that conversation with you. We would be really excited to invite you and welcome you into the team and help you get started. And here's the cool thing, you guys. When you sign up, you get all of us. When you enroll and link arms with our team, you literally get all of us, and you get all of us at one time. It's not like, you have to do certain things to work with certain people, or that you're going to be totally left on your own. We will help guide you step by step, one-on-one, to get started, to understand exactly what coaching looks like, how you can talk to people and share your story, to share authentically and to empower change rather than selling, right? Or pushing sales or pushing products, because that's the furthest thing from what our team represents and what we're about. We are about providing resources and the tools and the knowledge and the support to helping the people around us create their change. So we love and appreciate you. We hope you have a great rest of your evening, a great rest of your week, and we will talk with you all soon.